Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're taking a look at Okidogi Box. Obviously, this deck list was, well, not this exact deck list, but a deck list very similar, was piloted by Matthew Output to, I don't remember which regional it was, but he managed to get top 32. Now obviously, Okidogi has kind of fell off since then. Obviously, it does see play in online tournaments and stuff like that. But I wanted to do my own take on Okidogi. Obviously, on the channel we've already played Okidogi Poison, we've already played Okidogi with Dragapult. I do have an Okidogi with Crustle deck that is going to come out eventually. But I wanted to work on this variant a little bit more because I think this one, because obviously we're losing quite a bit to G-block rotation, could potentially have the legs that we need. Obviously, in that case, for G-block rotation, we do lose the Scizor line, but we'll gloss over that for now. So as per usual, in the description below, there's going to be the usual timestamps. We obviously do have the deck list, which is available to copy in the description below, but there's also a timestamp for that if you want to just skip ahead. Then, of course, the games that we'll play, and the outro and what I think of the deck. So, obviously, Okidogi we have covered on the channel before, as I just mentioned. But, of course, Okidogi is not the best on his own. Like, you do need pairs to attack with it. Like, you do need Pokemon with backup Okidogi, is what I'm trying to say. He's not great on his own, especially with a lot of fighting-resistant decks at the minute. Obviously, when the Megas come out, there is obviously a lot of support for the Lucario, specifically fighting support. So Okidogi could see a rise there, but still, that's just my take on it. And of course, the Adrenal Power attack, well, ability I should say, is very good, plus 100 HP if we have any Dark Energy, but obviously we're going to be playing Prism Energy, so that avoids that problem. And of course, our Good Punch attack does 100 more. Not bad. Not bad at all. And like I say, it's not terrible, but obviously it's not great in a meta with humongous HP basics. And, yeah, it's not great. But what I wanted to do was, I wanted to keep the Scizor line, just like Matthew Output did, but I wanted to add a little bit more to it. Obviously, I have kept the double Munkidori is another thing. I have kept that because, well, just having Dark Energy in the list is good anyway. But the fact that we could heal the Munkidoris is another good thing. But I have thrown in, as you'll probably notice the moment this video started, a Lillie's Clefairy. This is because one of the main matchups that I really struggled with whilst playing Okidogi was the Dragapult matchup. Obviously, Lillie's Clefairy is a 2-prizer, which ideally you don't want to be playing too many 2-prizes in a deck that's mainly focused around a 1-prizer. But obviously we can play the Legacy Energy on this little guy, and trust me, comes in useful. And like I say, having the ability to just Full Moon Rondo our way for a dragon is very good, and like I say, it pretty much solidifies the Raging Bolt matchup, which can sometimes be a bit flaky. But the fact that we have this option to go in with the Lillie's Clefairy onto a 2-prize Raging Bolt, and hopefully shut them down with an Iono, is pretty good. We're also playing a Mew, because Mew is, well, it's kind of needed, because my hand sizes in this deck have been critically small. Then, of course, we do have a Cornerstone, just to give us an extra out, and obviously Gholdengo doesn't like seeing this card, so that's at least something. Obviously, we do have our own answer to Cornerstone. It's called Scizor, and Scizor can obviously deal with that. We can also use our own Cornerstone to deal with another Cornerstone, and we can obviously heal it off for the monkeys, and then, of course, we play the Bloodmoon Ursaluna as well, and an Iron Bundle just to help out. Iron Bundle can also attack in this list as well. So, let's go to the deck list, and let's have a look. And welcome to the deck list. So, as I said, the Pokemon lineup is pretty strong. Obviously, we do have a lot of different attackers. Obviously, Scizor can do a lot of damage with the abilities that are currently in play with a lot of Pokemon. And just in general, just be a big, shall we say, problem for ability-focused decks. A bit like Eevee Box will absolutely fall to a Scizor, which is really nice. I did debate putting a Vitality Band in here, because for those that don't know Scizor math, for 5 abilities in play, that's 260 with his damage. 270 means we're taking out the likes of Flareon and stuff like that. Obviously, they're not always going to have 5 abilities in play, but the thought was there, but I decided not to. So, of course, we are playing 3 Okidogis, 2 Scyther, 2 Scizor. Obviously, it is the Free Retreat Scyther from 151. 2 Munkidoris, 1 Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX for obviously the late game. 1 Iron Bundle, which obviously if we put a Prism on it, we can actually attack, and this attack is underrated in my opinion. 1 Fez, 1 Mew, 1 Lillie's Clefairy, and 1 Cornerstone as our attackers. Obviously everything in this list can attack, believe it or not. 4 Research, 3 Crispin, 2 Boss, 2 Iono, 4 Nest, 4 Pokégear, which I'm honestly surprised he got to top 32 without any Pokégear, but hey, props to him. 2 Ultra Ball, 2 Super Rod, 1 Counter Catcher, 1 Night Stretcher, 2 Bravery Charm, 1 EXP Share, 1 Air Balloon. You will notice the lack of a Latias in here. Did debate putting 1 in, same with a Turo, but didn't really have the room for it. 1 Downstore, 1 Artisan, 4 Fighting Energy for obviously our Crispin targets, 4 Prism Energy, which is just a good Prism. Well, Prism Energy is just such a good card in this list anyway. Now, for obvious reasons, it doesn't work on a Scizor, because Prism Energy only provides it to a basic. That's why we're still playing Coppers and Metal Energy in here, and obviously we do have the Legacy. You could go 2-2 split, so 2 Prism, 2 Luminous, just to give Scizor a bit more versatility in that regard, but in testing, I've not really seen the necessary means to do that, but you can. There is the option there. 2 Dark Energy, obviously, for Crispin, 2 Metal Energy for Crispin, 1 Legacy Energy as a race spec, which obviously, if we have this on a 2 prizer, it becomes a 1 prizer, and if we have it on a 1 prizer, it becomes a 0 prizer. Now, one thing to note is it only applies if it's damage from an attack, not damage counters. So if they're using Dragapult and they hit us for 200, then obviously hit us with damage counters on the bench plus a Munkidori move, they can still take a prize if they put it on. If we put it on an Okidogi, they can also take 2 prizes if we put it on something like Cornerstone. So just bear that in mind. And then one thing that I slipped in lastminute.com was a basic Psychic. I just figured it was making more sense. And not only that, it's an extra Crispin target, so it's even better than that. And of course, having a basic energy that is a Psychic does help out the Munkidori and does help out the Clefairy. So yeah, this just took a bit of time to come up with. Obviously, I've literally thought of it about 2 days ago when I was at work. But yeah, it's genuinely been quite fun to play, and like I say, it's worked so well so far. But like I said, the only real change I would probably say is, as I said, probably a 2-2 split of Prism Luminous. But other than that, there's not a huge amount that needs changing in here. Obviously, another Stadium would be nice, like another Artisan. Maybe a 4th Crispin, but that means you need into other accounts, especially the Pokégears, and you kind of need these. So, let's get into a game and see how we do. And welcome to Game 1. I was just chugging a quick drink before I hit the match to go, and then it friggin' starts it 2 seconds after I start drinking. Nah, it's alright though. Marnie's Coin. I suspect Grimmsnarl, which Grimmsnarl is actually quite a tough matchup from my testing. It's not easy, let's put it that way. Let's see. I'm not really bothered if we go first. It's just, you know, I would rather go second. Okay, we're going first. That's fine. We can deal with that. Let's see what we can do. Okay, that's not a terrible start. Although, Mew's start is not great in this matchup. We could start the Scyther as well. Oh, no, it's Charizard. Okay. That is fine, but that hand is not fine. That's all we can do, folks. That is a terrible start. Well, that helps. Well, that doesn't. So we're facing Charizard Pidgeot. Okay, that's fine. I can deal with that. They can obviously Artisan for another card, which is useful. They have no abilities in play, which is kind of annoying, but we can deal with that. I'm just hoping this isn't a Dusk build. It is a Dusk build. Of course it is. This is not going to be fun. So I can attach Retreat, go into the Clefairy and draw 5. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Obviously we had a really slow start, so that really doesn't help us right now. Obviously we mainly get our energy into play via Crispin, so we don't really have anything going for us right now. So let's see. There's a Iono, which we're probably going to play. So we can go Artisan out a Okidogi. I can evolve the Scizor. And Iono, I'm not getting rid of 3 researchers just for an extra card. No chance. That'd be a misplay of the century. Okay, Cornerstone is good in this matchup, so we do want to bench him. We can go Prism Energy to the Okidogi, which gives him a bit more bulk. Nest Ball for a Munkidori. I can just free retreat into the Cornerstone. Let's see if we can get a Crispin off of this. Yep, that's fine. So I will just go into the Cornerstone here. Cornerstone is quite hard for him to deal with, so I'm hoping that Cornerstone can do his work in this matchup. Obviously, he does have access to Boss on the Mew, but ultimately, Charizard doesn't have many ways around a Cornerstone. Like, obviously, you do have the Dusk line, but if we're able to focus that down, that could be an advantage for us. And obviously, his hand's full up with 7 cards at the minute. Obviously, he does have the access to Chi-Yu as well, but hopefully we can at least deal with that before it becomes a problem. So, hopefully, anyway. So he's got the Shack. Let's see what he does with it. There's a Dusknoir and a Pidgeot. So that probably means double rare candy in hand. Because you wouldn't do that. Yep, there it is. You wouldn't do that if you didn't have access. And there's the Pidge. Interesting he grabbed the Dusknoir though. It's way too early to Dusknoir right now. I'll tell you that much. Obviously Scizor would be doing 60 damage right about now. That's just in case anyone was curious, because there's only one ability in play. Obviously to the Clefairy, because Clefairy is Metal weak, it would be doing 120. He could also just save the Dusknoir, is another option. Because he could Dusknoir the Cornerstone after I take a knockout. Yeah, I think he's worked out that the Cornerstone can only really be taken out by the Chi-Yu. It's going to Flarebringer, I think. Yep, that's fine. Is he going to attach it to the Chi-Yu, though? That's going to be an interesting thing. Because if I can take out this Chi-Yu, we're going to have a huge advantage. No. Weird play. But maybe it's his only option, I guess. Okay, so we need to Crispin, but that's fine. So that's Artisan. Grab out another Dogi, which I think is fine. And then Crispin. Grab a Fighting. I'll thin the Psychic out, because the Psychic isn't really needed. We'll put the Fighting in hand. Attach the Psychic to the Cornerstone. Attach the Okidogi. Retreat the Cornerstone into the Okidogi. And take out the Chi-Yu. Good punch. Like, it's just... It's such a weird name for an attack. Like, just good punch. Like, that's very... That's very, oh, what's the name of it? Nexomon? If anyone's ever played that. Nexomon. Very fun game series. I played the first one on my second channel. That was a barrel of laughs. I love playing that game. Like, it's not obviously like amazing, but the fact is that we have, like, it's just so fun to play it, you know? Like, you have those options. Like, obviously it's not the best game ever. It did have issues. I did have issues with game crashes at one point. I even had issues with the final boss in the post-credit game, or post-ending game. But yeah. Okay, max belt and a counter catcher. Something tells me he's going to try and hit the Cornerstone and realise he can't do squat to it. You wouldn't need max belt if you're going for Mew though, because you hit it for Dark Weakness. And even then, you're base 180. There's Rare Candy. Unless maybe he thinks max belt does extra damage to everything. I don't know. There's the Charizard. Now at the minute... Okidogi can actually take a hit from the Charizard. But yeah, don't really want it to. I mean, we do obviously have the option to Monkey Math, which is always nice. We can take out a Clefairy, go back to even prizes. But I heavily suspect he's going to counter catch that Mew. That's one of the major problems with playing a Mew in this list, but yeah, you kind of have to. The hand sizes do get a bit low. So like I say, he could counter catch a Mew, but I think he's going to go... I don't know why, I'm getting a sense he's going to go for the Cornerstone. Nope, he's going for the Mew, that's fine then. That's okay, we can deal with that. He's got Fire Energy on the Pidgeot as well, interestingly enough. I don't know why he's max belt in the Pidgeot, but sure, that's fine, Chief. So we're not going to put any more 2 prizes down now, we are just going to go in with the prizes. Okay, there's a Nest Ball. We can use that. I do want to put down Fez to obviously get the extra draw, but we don't have an option right now. I could attach this Dark Energy to Okidogi just to be sure. But I think I'm going to attach it to Cornerstone, because he doesn't really have an answer to it. And yeah, we will just Good Punch for 170. If he wants to blow up a Dusknoir just to take out my Okidogi, he is more than welcome. But I don't think he will, personally. I don't think he will. I probably should have kept that Dark Energy in hand anyway, but like, it's just in case Okidogi does go down, we have the retreat with the Cornerstone. That's the main thought process anyway. Quick search. If he goes for a boss on the Cornerstone and just dings off it, I'm just going to laugh, is all I'll say. Because genuinely, like, I've seen Charizard players do that, and that's not a diss towards Charizard. It's just, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, they are, you know, they are known for it. Let's see what he does. Rare Candy, that means Dusknoir. Or another Zard. No, it's Dusknoir. Okay. So there's Dusknoir. Okay. Is he going to Curse Blast the active? Because that's the only way he takes out the Okidogi in the active right now, is with a Curse Blast. Plus Charizard. Because at the minute, he's doing 210 damage. Curse Blast. No, he's hitting the Cornerstone. Okay, that's fine. Take a prize card. There's a Prism Energy. Excellent. That'll be pretty useful, because we can put it on the Munkidori, take out the Clefairy, then take out the Zard, go for a free prize turn. But, in fact, no. He actually takes out the Okidogi now, because of the prize. Slightly annoying, but we can deal with that. But he does have to recover that line. He's played 3 candies. I very much doubt he's going to use another. He's failed the Body Poffin. Obviously, he can take out the Okidogi now, which is a problem, but we can deal with that. I severely doubt he's playing 4 candies. If he is, this guy just gets bummed by Badoo. That's all I'm saying. So I'll do that. I'm down to heal the Cornerstone, because then that puts it out of range of the Curse Blast. So I'm down to commit my turn attachment here. So I can take out the Clefairy, take a prize. Let's see what we get off the prize card. Super Rod, not particularly important, but it does help us. So we will Super Rod. Okidogi, Psychic, and Fighting, so that we have more Crispin targets. Do I want to pop the bundle? It doesn't really matter, but it does give me a bench space, so I will just Hyper Blower, because why not? I can't attack anyway. That's fine with me, and we will just pass. We need a Crispin, like, soon. As much as I'd love to spend my time manually attaching to his Cornerstone, it's not ideal. There's a Nest Ball. For a Fez. See, he can safely put down a Fez-ish, because I can attack it with Okidogi and hit it for weakness, but I don't have a Crispin right now. Like I said, his main answer to the Cornerstone is Chi-Yu. He can't rely on Dusknoirs. So if he relies on Dusknoirs, I can take advantage of that. So let's see what he does. Ideally, I'd love Crispin plus like Bravery Charm for that Okidogi on the bench, because then I can protect it. There's a quick search, because Scizor, actually, if we get a Metal Energy off the top, can take out that Charizard right now, because it does 160. So we could take out that Zard. It just depends on what he grabs off that quick search. Obviously, he's already grabbed it, but... He is taking time to make his moves. He is very much taking the mic, and, you know, okay, there's a Dusclops. He can Dusclops, but that doesn't do anything, and I can just keep healing this Cornerstone slowly over time. There's Super Rod. He's definitely going for the Curse Blast option. But like I said, I'm more than happy to sit here. If you bench that Clefairy, I will just take it out with the Cornerstone's heal. Please do. I'd love to see it. Because what you can also do to a Charizard player is you can actually gust up the Dusclops, and then that forces them if they don't play switches. Okay, that's fine. You can actually force them to blow up their Dusk, which is quite funny. And trust me, it annoys them, let's put it that way. This maneuver here, though, does slightly annoy me, but with a top decker research, it definitely doesn't. Okay, that does help us. So, we'll definitely Adrenaline first. I want to put pressure on this Dusclops so that way you can force it to, like, do things. But at the same time, I want to set up the Pidge. Because Pidge can obviously be killed by Bloodmoon, so that's my thought process there. I'm going to attach Bravery Charm to the Okidogi. I'll then attach a Fighting to the Cornerstone. I'm not putting down this Scyther, that's one thing for certain. I'll fail the Artisan, just want to give the deck a bit of a shuffle. And I will just pass. I'm happy to wait, you know? I'm not in a rush here. We still have one boss left in deck. We still have a counter catcher in deck. And if he wants to blow up that Dusknoir, he's more than welcome to. I'm not going to stop him. So like I say, ideally we can go then for counter catcher Pidgeot, heal off the 30 damage onto the Pidgeot, and then Bloodmoon for game. So we have options here. We're not completely out of the woods yet, but this guy is taking a while to make his moves. Iono, that's fine. Obviously, we do lose the Metal Energy, but I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. There's Bloodmoon, Speak of the Devil. And a Crispin. That's fine. So you resist fighting, don't you? Because I was debating, like, trying to find Gust to gust up the Dusclops. Take that out. He could grab Dusknoir here, but I don't think he's going to. But this is what I mean. Like, in an ideal world, this guy would be done for slow playing, because he does take a long time to do his moves. There's Air Balloon, so you can retreat this Charmeleon. That's fine. That is fine with me, Chief. You can evolve this into a Dusclops and blow it up. Because I'll just sit behind Cornerstone. So we can take this out with the Cornerstone now. We can heal 30 off with the Munkidori, promote this. So yeah, we'll promote the Cornerstone. Because like I say, he doesn't really have an answer to it. And if we take out the Charizard, he has no options. So we're just going to Crispin for a Metal and the Psychic. We will keep the Metal in hand, because we could go for game with Scizor. Attach to the Cornerstone. Then Adrenaline. Onto the Charizard. And Demolish. Take out the Charizard. That's why you play a Cornerstone. Down goes the Charizard. Now, I've got to think here. How does he have game? Because Chiyu does 140. If he blows this up, I win. Pidgeot can't attack. This anyway. He could Gust and go for the Scizor, I guess, or one of the monkeys, but then I just come up with this. How many bosses is he down? He's down one boss and a counter catcher. I don't think he wins from here, personally. The fact that I had the option to take out the Zard there was what has kind of sealed his fate. And it looks like he's probably rage quit. He is not a happy bunny, I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, he's definitely rage quit. Oh, my precious Charizard's been taken out. Average Charizard player, that is. And yep, he's definitely rage quit. Adrenabrain. Onto the Pidge. Bench the bear. Attach the energy. Retreat into the bear. Doesn't matter which energy gets retreated off. And Bloodmoon for game. That's what you get for wasting my time. I really do hate it when people not only slow play, but then had the brass balls to rage quit on me. Like, come on. But hey, we took the win against Charizard. That proves the power of Cornerstone in this list. Still, that was a pretty good game for us. Let's go to a game 2. And welcome back. We've actually paired into someone who's only just started the ladder, it looks like. Poor person. Oh well. The end of that match, obviously, I had to cut quite a bit out because the Charizard player not only slow played, but yeah, he decided, you know what, I'm also gonna rage quit on you, not even give you the pleasure. But thankfully, the game didn't disconnect him. It let me have the swing with Bloodmoon, so that's at least something. Okay, going second, that's fine. We do have option of Legacy, so that's fine. And it's another Charizard. Of course it is. God's sake, why is it with all these Charizards? Oh, I think judging by that, his hand sucks a lot. So, yeah, let's see what happens then. Because let's be real, game 1 took forever because of that slow playing Charizard. Let's see what he's got then. I will definitely take that mulligan. That's a Lillie's Clefairy, that's fine. Pidgey start. Okay, that's not the worst for you, mate. I've seen worse. If it's literally just Pidgey pass, then yeah, that's pretty bad. But we can't really punish it, like, at all. The only way we would is if we topped at Crispin. Because then we can go Clefairy for game. Like, just insta-donk it. No, he's got a benched. It's a Relor. I hate that art. It looks like it's licking its own... Like, obviously, I know it's a dung beetle, but it does not need to look like that. So there's Munkidori. And I actually don't want to Iono. I just want to attach the Legacy and just pass, I think. I think that's all we do. We just Legacy the active and then pass, because then we can attack the Scizor. So, yeah, I think that's literally what we do. We just attach pass. I don't really want to rescue his hand. Because quite clearly it sucks. There's a fire. He could call for family at least. Let's see. Yep, call for family. That's fine. Charmander and a Clefairy. We could Iono now because obviously he's not really doing a lot, and to be honest, I'd rather get rid of the options he might have in hand. So let's do that now. There's an Air Balloon, so that's helpful. We can... No, we can't. We need a Metal Energy to do that. Let's Ultra Ball away the Munkidori and the Darkness Energy. I could grab Mew. Mew's not a bad idea, actually. So let's grab the Mew. Bench the Mew. Prism Energy to the Munkidori. Restart for 2. That's not particularly great. Let's... You know what? Let's do it for the memes. Punishing Scissors for 10 damage. Because why not? Let's see if that really bad hand doesn't have anything else to do. It does seem like quite a bricky sort of deck, like what he's built there, because no one plays the Relor line. And even if they do, they play the 50 HP one, not the 40. There's an Ultra Ball. Discarding what? I think definitely as well an option for a grass attack would be pretty good in this list. I don't know what you'd have, but you know, you've got the option there. Okay, Pidgeot. That means Rare Candy Pidgeot. That's fine. That just means an ability in play, so we can do 60 damage. But yeah, like there's so many options for this deck. It's just the energy acceleration is poor in this list. There's Charmeleon. That's fine. Go on, go for a tackle. Ah, I wanted to go for a tackle. That would have been funny. Tackle for 20 damage and just watch it bounce off the Scizor's armor. Because Scizor is an armored bug. And I'd just move it back with Munkidori, so... Go on, go for a tackle. I will give you a personal heart and a pin if you one, find this video, but also 2, you attack with tackle. Do it. Go on. I really want to see him use tackle. Okay, that's fine. We're not using anything that can do bench damage. So that's fine. Please, just go for the tackle, and I will personally pin your comment if you ever find this video. Yes! He's done the tackle! Get in. Good lad. That's what I like to see. Obviously, we can take out the... In fact, we can take out the Charmeleon. Ooh, okay. I'm not worried about getting energy into play then, so we'll do that. Night Stretcher back to Dark Energy. For now, I'll attach it to the Okidogi. We can then... Yeah, 110. We can boss the Charmeleon. Adrenabrain off the Scizor. Onto the Clefairy, because the Clefairy can be taken out later. And punish the Scizor for 110. Take out the Charmeleon. We had a really poor start, but like we've managed to like get going now, which is good. And there's a basic Metal Energy. Obviously we put our Legacy on Scizor, but that's fine. I can deal with that. No, that was an interesting start. The poor guy had a really bad start, but hey, he's got his evolution line set up. He's got his Rabscar, so that's at least something. But I think now he's just got to decide what to do. His best option is to try and thin his hand down and go for the. We'll try and get some basics set up. Because I don't really want to Iono at this point. I kind of want to just be swinging with my Okidogis. Obviously, the only thing Joe has to remember, because as some of you may know, Joe's a bit of an idiot. I need to remember that I have a Dark Energy on that Okidogi, not a Prism or a Luminous or whatever. So, yeah. There's TM Evo. Okay. Like I say, I'm more than happy to just sit here, like genuinely. But honestly, respect to the man for doing the tackle attack. I'm happy with that. Genuinely, I'm happy. That's cheered me up from the previous match. But obviously, he's taken time to think, which is fair enough. I don't mind people taking time to think. It's when people take the mic, is, you know, that's when I draw the line. So shuffling back those, that's fine. He's got a Body Poffin in hand? He would have played that first, surely. Unless he's playing like a stupidly thin line of Charmanders, and there's like a Pult waiting in here or something, I don't know, but, you know. Ideally as well, I don't really want to be taking out the Clefairy. I want to leave this for later. So maybe we can boss the Rabscar. You do know that doesn't do any damage, right? Unless you're hand thinning, in which case respect. I remember I got that asked that at a I can't remember, it was a pre-release. I got asked if you use a Defiance Band on a Pokemon that doesn't do any damage with its attack, does it do extra damage? No, it doesn't do any damage because it's not an actual attack. So let's go for a Crispin. We're fighting, and we might as well grab the Dark. Put the fighting in hand. Pop it on this Dogi. Do I attach this energy anywhere? We can Pokégear now at least. We'll grab another Crispin. So how many Crispin we use? We use 2. Well, this is going to be our second Crispin. We could also just attack this. Like, I'm not hugely fussed, but I'd rather not, you know? I don't really want to. But I think I have to. Just take out the Clefairy. Take an extra prize, go down to even prizes. Like, it's not ideal, but, you know, I've got to do it. My thought process was, if the opponent attacks with Tackle again, I can then Munkidori it off, take out the Clefairy, and then take out the Pidgey. So that's kind of what I wanted to keep it in play. But I'm not losing sleep over it. It's fine. We can deal with it. Obviously, I don't like to take the mitt when it comes to making decisions, but, you know, I didn't really want to take out that Clefairy there. At least at first, but you gotta do what you gotta do, is all I'll say. But yeah, we need to get another energy on that Okidogi with the Dark Energy. I only attached it there just in case we need another attacker. Obviously, that's bulkier. I think my opponent has possibly Rage Quit. And, yeah, I don't think he's a happy bunny. I mean, come on, man. You used the tackle. Do it again. I'll try and finish as quick as possible. Unless he's just, like, taking his sweet time to promote the Rabsca. Which, you know, Rabsca doesn't really help him in his matchup, so maybe he's using it as a meat shield, which, fair enough. But I can just attach the second Metal Energy and go for a cut. I've never gotten a knockout with cut, with Scizor. Maybe this is the time where I do, before the game thinks you've had enough, and you've had enough fun with Scizor and friends. I don't call this deck Okidogi Box. I call it Okidogi Box for the video, but I like to call it Scizor and Friends, a bit to reference the old Lost Box deck I had. But, yeah, I think my opponent has Rage Quit. So, again, I will cut to when I can use cut. And, yep, looks like my opponent has well and truly Rage Quit. So, we'll first of all go for a Crispin. Take these two out of the deck. So that means Crispins are now offline. That's fine with me. We'll attach it to this Okidogi. We're going to attach a metal and go for a cut for 70. Never done a knockout with that attack, but well, this card rotates in April, so might as well get it on video, I guess. Yeah, I think my opponent is well and truly Rage Quit, so I'll just cut to the outro. And yep, that's the end of the game. The opponent well and truly Rage Quit. Well, I guess this deck is good for one thing. It makes Charizard players Rage Quit, so that's at least something. That's another win in the books. And the Okidogi deck went 2-0 against Charizards. I'll take that. And we got to Gardevoir rank as well. So, not a bad pair of games. Obviously, we did have 2 Rage Quits and obviously 1 slow player, but, well, that happens on PTCG Live, unfortunately, because there's no report function. So, what do I think of the deck? This deck definitely does have some potential. I think it needs a few changes, like, definitely 4 Crispin. As I said, I think a 2-2 split of Luminous and Prism would be nice as well, because that way it helps the Scizors out a bit more. And obviously, potentially something to help out with other weaknesses as well, because obviously fighting weakness isn't too common. Metal weaknesses is rare as hen's teeth. And obviously psychic weakness with the Munkidoris and the Clefairies. They do help against the dragon matchups, but obviously we don't really meet a dragon matchup. But genuinely, this deck has a lot of room to grow. And that's me being genuine. This deck does have a lot of room to grow. Obviously, when it comes to rotation, this deck does lose the Scizor line, which is a shame. I actually have a copy of the illustrated rare Scizor on my desk in one of those picture frames for Pokemon cards. Because it's that good of a card. It's always been a good card since it came out. But yeah, genuinely, this could definitely be something worth exploring. Because obviously, with the rotation in April, obviously, as I said, we do this as a Scizor line. But we still could potentially get an evolution line which could help it a bit more. You don't know yet. But still, I definitely recommend giving this deck a try. Obviously, if you have any success with it, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, I'm going to leave it all to it for today. Really hope you enjoyed seeing Okidogi Box in action, and I'll see you next time.